Alright guys, in this video, I'm going to go over how to play the Cowboy Attack. Cowboy Attack is a very funny opening, because I've taught all my students this, and they get to move too, and they're always confused. Like, is this Cowboy? So, we're going to start knight f3 Sicil, and pretty much if you're playing the solid repertoire, you will never go open Sicilian. So, always kind of remember, okay, we're probably not going to go d4 anyway. So after e6, the Cowboy Attack is characterized by the move b3. So b3, the idea is we want to get a bishop on b2, have a lot of pressure on this diagonal, and it's also a huge waiting move. Um, so we want a castle, right? So if we want a castle, we will have to move this bishop. Right now, the bishop has nowhere to go. If we could go to b5 check, we could get rid of it and then castle. But, I mean, none of these squares are really an option right now, because he gets d5 with tempo. If we go c3, d5 comes fast. If g3, d5 also comes fast. Once again, those positions are very playable. But we're going to go with b3. So the first structure that I want y'all to know is what to do against d5. So again, once they go d5, I want you to think IQP, castle fast, and then take on c5 after the bishop moves. So we're going to take first. I've never really seen queen takes. Queen takes has to be like point, yeah, point 0.5, 0.6. So queen takes, okay, we get a bunch of tempos. Life is good. I've never had someone play it either. So e takes d5. We're gonna go bishop e5 check. Um, so there's a couple ways they can play this. Remember, our goal is to castle ASAP, go d4, and then take on c5. So if knight c6, we're gonna castle ASAP, go d4, and oh, there's a cool variation here. I think queen e1 check. If queen e7, we go bishop a3, and they're actually kind of hurt because of the diagonals. And if bishop e7, we can quote unquote be up a pawn with take on c5, but I think this is the proper way to play. Because if they castle, we have bishop takes and we win a piece. So they have to go bishop d7, pretty much only move. And then here we can get the bishop and then play two bishops, open position. And yeah, I guess they went kind of deep here. But yeah, this is all playable. Remember, they can't go 94 because there's mate. Okay, so that's just a variation there. And it's gonna be pretty much all of the same, whatever move order that you kind of see. Let's say, for example, bishop d7, take, take. I think queen takes is already, no, knight takes is already a mistake. There are a lot of ways you can keep them stuck in the middle. Like this is one great one. If knight d7, the knight should be on c6 to control more space and to guard the e7 square. So on d7, after this and this, it's actually very hard for them to castle. I think they have to go knight f8, and we can win a pawn like this if you want. But apparently the better move is 95, and we just have a lot of pressure. G3 is something. So yeah, do you want to win a pawn or do you want pressure? It's up to you. You'll get to choose. But both variations are really nice. So queen takes d7 is better because the knight belongs on c6. But still, we're gonna do the same kind of deal. Bishop b2, you can go dc. Because if they take this, like you actually get a lot of, you can actually just immediately get a pawn or an advantage. So bishop e7. I was like, can we take this? But the queen is protected by the knight. So at first I was trying to do this and win the queen, but the knight is protecting the queen, so we can't do that there. But we can just put more pressure, and now we have we have some serious threats now. Now rook e7 is really strong. Let's see. Actually, let's just investigate a little bit. Knight e4. Okay, we're just gonna win a pawn. We win d4, and you have a very two result endgame, I would say, as two result as it gets. So probably DC here, they're just going to castle. That's kind of the proper thing to do. But you can claim the pawn. Or actually, bishop b2 is another good move. Yeah, you already have some very interesting ideas. Um, yeah, bishop b2, b4, I'm just a little bit curious. It feels like it's overextended. That's my initial take, like something like this. But yeah, it depends on your style. If you want to hold the pawn and play, you can, or if you want to be active, you can go bishop e2. Because they can't even take on c5 immediately because we take on f6, and that would be really, really good for white. All right, so just know d5, we're going to play against the ITP. All right, so the next variation that kind of stems off of this is if they go a6. So if they go a6, they're addressing the same problem that we had a move ago, where we want to move this bishop, so we want to go bishop e5. But No, we can't because of a6. So if we can't go bishop b5, they can't go d5. We need to take away their way to to get all the space. So we go c4 here. Now, if they go d5, this position is pretty interesting. You get a bunch of tempos, and I would say like this is pretty good for white. Like already point 0.5, like life is good. And if they do this, let me just play chess. Yeah, I mean, actually here I think white has some good full, but anything else and it's pretty solid. But yeah, basically you have better development, so you can kind of leverage that and make up for like the kind of weird pawn structure. Okay, so now okay, they don't go d5, they go knight c6. Um, so bishop b2, knight f6, e5. Okay, so generally they go queen c7 first. Knight f6 early, they can just go h3. And that's why they go queen c7 first. Because queen c7 first, they actually threaten to take the e5 pawn. And if here, they just kind of have a wacky position. I mean, it's kind of a weird position, not gonna lie, but white has space, and we love space. So queen c7, g3. And there's like our boy Hans. He loves this variation. He has a bunch. Him and Antipop. And it's kind of funny because him and Antipop played in this variation, and Hans ended up winning. But if you look at who plays this a lot, it's Hans, and then I think Antipop should be somewhere over there. Or maybe it's like here. I mean, Antipop plays a lot of B3 Sicil. And I guess it's even more funny because I played Antipop in the B3 Sicil and I got smashed. So, circle of life, am I right? All right, that's weird. I definitely know he has more games. I wonder if it's here. All right, I'm getting sidetracked for sure. Okay, I found one Antipop game. I can claim he's a master at this. All right, so the whole idea of the pawn stack is you're going to castle, and you're going to go rook e1, and you have really good pressure. And at some point, you go d4, and you're doing good. All right, so let's stop showing off Hans. So castle a knight. Most of them don't go knight d3. Like most of the games that you'll see that I was showing before, no one really went knight d3. If they go knight d3, you're going to go bishop b4, and then you can kind of like trap this knight and try to get some good tempos, like queen e2, a3, b4, b5. This bishop, it's basically like a Catalan. Like somehow, like I never played the Catalan, but you get a lot of Catalan positions with e4. Um, so yeah, that's what you're gonna do. I think one time I played it, and the kid just didn't take the pawn. He just played bishop e7, and then I castled, and he castled, and I think I just went rook e1. Yeah, so if they don't take it, okay, you have space, and you look for the d4 break, and always h3 to stone the knight out. Okay, so that's gonna be the idea there. Um, all right, so that's enough for the a6 variation. So you can see boom, 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 and now d6. So d6, all right. So there's kind of two variations with d6. How is there a6 twice? Um, with d6. So with d6, okay, there's basically d6 is the passive way to play, and this is what you're gonna try to do. Okay, so you have two ways to play. If you want space, you go d4, and you get like a Maroxy. Very playable. You got space. Enjoy your life, and just develop all your pieces. Like you can see, it's a +1. Probably not the best move order for black, but all right. So that's one way to play it. But if you want to go Street Fighter and have a lot of fun, which one of my probably my best Grandmaster victory was in this. Like I'm winning less than 20 moves. Like was about to sack my queen. Um, so you go knight c3. Okay, so if they go e5, it's not as fun. I'll tell you that right now. But if they go knight c, I think he went b6 actually. b6, queen e2, bishop b7, castle, knight c6. Let's say knight d7 for example. If you can get d4 like this position is like literally one of the most fun positions you can ever play. You're gonna go g4, g5. You have knight f5 ideas. You have knight d5 ideas. It's not easy for them to attack you because you fear and shadowed, so they can't push in the traditional way. And at some point, these bishops can open up and they'll be made on g7. I think it was actually saying things. This is like knight b5, knight d5, pawn sack. That was interesting. Yeah, knight d5 sacks the trap piece. Wow, Peter's actually learning, huh? All right, so yeah, so if they go e5, I actually played this position pretty recently too. Um, yeah, it kind of does equalize. I'm not gonna lie. But I would go for the same thing. You can also go bishop b5 check, castle, or bishop b5 check, queen e2 and castle, queenside, and try to go h3 g4, but it's not as pretty. Um, so that's the kind of the risk you take. I would First couple times playing it, I would probably just go d4. Just take the nice easy position, and then you can kind of go from there. Yeah, so all of these are going to kind of transpose. This is transposes, this transposes. So as long as you know is it a6, d6, or d5, you're going to pretty much know where to put your pieces. All right, so just to go over a couple more of the problem set, because I think for the most part that's it. Let me think. Oh, sorry, this is e6, b3. Yeah, like the b6 is going to transpose to all. So here, okay, same thing. Actually, this one's a little bit different. Now, if you want, of course, you can go queen e2 and do this. I would definitely do this here. Okay, knight d4. This move is actually, I've gotten this a couple times. So you don't want to take because then you quote unquote lose a pawn, right? So take, and then e4 is going to drop. You probably have some weird way of making something happen. But knight d4, just go queen e3. Queen e3, knight g4. It feels like black's getting like all the momentum, but after queen e1, he's kind of stuck. Because if he takes on f3, you're gonna go g takes and get a tempo. Actually, I'll just show you. So take knight. Let's say knight e5. We can go queen e3, rook g1, probably d4, and you're gonna have a magnificent attack there. That's gonna be a very fun position to play. So just remember, if they do, so this one, okay, so why is e5 not as good here? So knight c6. So once again, d4 is the proper move. But even here, like, if they don't go d6, e5 is not as strong. And I want to know, can you tell? Yeah, why is this, like, such a better version? I think it's because the bishop is on b7. They wasted moves with b6, bishop b7. Okay, let's just double check real quick. I'm learning too, don't you worry. So d6, let's say bishop b2, knight f6 here, and e5. So let me just say I do the same things, right? I'm guessing it's not going to go b6. That is my big bold prediction. Yeah, it's not going to go b6. It's going to put the bishop on d7 and go like a6 b5. Basically, b6 slows down the attack for the counterattack for black. And that is why against d6 you want to go d4 more. If they go b6, bishop b7, then you can actually get away with queen e2 and d4 a little bit better because the light square bishop is misplaced. Okay, so there's like some bonus information there. So let me just go through these. Let me go through one. Okay, what I'm going to do is go through the whole problem set. So against d5, we're going to take check, castle, d4, IQP, tempos. Simple. Bishop d7, we take. The knight belongs on c6. If they go knight d7, it's worse for them. You can go rook e1, queen e2. a6, we got to go c4 because they took away bishop b5. Now d6, we're going to go bishop e2, and d4 is a better alternative than knight c3, queen e2, d4. But if you want to be gangster, you can try to go for it. So kind of more of the same here. So here we're going to go rook e1 check, queen e2 because the knight's on d7. Knight d7, probably rook e1 check, and then I'll probably just take on d7. Take on d7 and go d4. Like, we don't want to go back. Actually, you know what? If you want it, you could try this rook e1 check, bishop f1. But I hate the bishop on f1 because it means you have to play on the queen side because the bishop is pointed this way. I like my bishops pointed at the king, so I'm not a huge fan of the bishop f1 variations. Um, Now this variation, I'm going to go rook e1 check, bishop a3, and he should be actually already busted. Okay, so knight c6 here. We're going to take all the tempos. We're going to rook e1 check, take on d4, and probably go knight e5. And just go tempo, tempo, tempo. If a6, it's weird. Why? Where's number 5, the question? Oh my god. Cowboys got a lot, huh? Okay, that's funny. So yeah, Hans likes this a lot. We're just gonna sack the pawn, bishop g2, take, castle. With knight d4 here, we want to go queen e3, queen e1. That's important. Queen e3, knight g4, queen e1, and then your counter is actually even stronger. It's kind of like a pull counter. You pull him in, and then you can punch him harder. Okay, if knight f6 here. Don't know if we went over this one. I'm pretty sure we're gonna go e5 here. E5, just space. Space is always good. E5, I think the double fianchetto is the way it's supposed to play. And you know, let me redeem myself. I know Antipop has a game here. I know it, I know it, I know it. Please tell me I'm correct. Man. I wonder what is. Okay, it is against Chandra. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, all right, I have some credibility here. Um, so G3, Bishop E7, Bishop G2, and just take the space. At some point, your Catalan bishop, your snipers will find something in the middle to do. That's probably what I would say here. All right. So knight f6, you're good. Knight d4, is that there twice? It's there twice. I give you all these questions. You have two of the same. Please forgive. Okay, so here, so remember we kind of talked about this. If they go b6, bishop e7, e5 is not as strong because this is misplaced. So now you can kind of do more with castle and everything. All right, and then, okay, so queen takes d5. We're going to go knight c3, get all the tempos, castle fast, counterattack. This position, I think we're going to go for d4 would make the most sense. d4 and take on c5 because, okay, so what is he trying to do is actually a good question. He's trying to go rook c6, rook e6. So let me see if I have this. I actually think there's a very important move here, and that is why it probably is d4. But okay, so d5. So this is the knight on d7. Boom, boom. Okay, so now I think rook c. I think I had this in a game. That's why it's not actually here. So d4 I think is a mistake. Well, it's not a total mistake, but knight c3, rook c6. What is the kill shot? Or what is the big kahuna? Okay, so now all the pawns are loose. You're kind of attacking everything right now. And that is the best way to play this, apparently. Ooh, yeah. Wow, Faruja beat Magnus in this position by playing knight c3. Yeah, so this is actually already a mistake. That's crazy. Even Magnus Carlsen makes mistakes, believe it or not. He has a game here where he's getting a bad position against Faruja. Um, okay, let me just see real quick if there's any difference. Bishop a3 seems like the sharper variation because, man, I want to be on this diagonal. Oh, more anti-pop. What did I say? I told you guys. Oh yeah, this is why. This is why. There's a cool. I remember there's a cool move here, and it's this bishop a3, and then you can go hit him with a knight d4. Because if c takes d4, I don't even think we go rook takes, or queen. Sorry, we don't go queen takes. Queen takes is actually bad. So bishop takes. If rook e6, then I think we just take the queen and we have an exchange. And here, it's crazy that this is not just like, yeah, bishop g7. We get the house. We get the house. Once again, computer chess, gotta be a bit accurate, but think at the end of all this rain, there is a rainbow waiting. Okay, now you just play chess. I think you're up a pawn. 3-6, 3-C. Yeah, you're up a pawn. His king is all high and his pawn structure is all weak. Be a little bit careful because he has the center and you're behind in development. But yeah, I mean, +2, like, you're getting +2 at the opening. I did my job. So that should be. All right, yeah, we got one left. But yeah, so here, I think, what do we do? Maybe it's like knight takes c6 and bishop c5, and he's dead. I think that's the idea. Just always, there's a lot of tactics on this file or this column. So just always be wary of, can I get things with tempo? Knight c6, bishop c5, and honestly, the cowboy is a really good option. Like I like the cowboy a lot. Really fun positions, and your opponents don't see it much. And I think all the positions are like solid. Okay, maybe there's one or two where it's kind of equal, but everything else, like I think white is doing pretty well. And also, every other opening I've played against the con Sicilian or e6 Sicilian, I've not been a huge fan of. It's been tough. Like I think with proper play, black gets better, and that delayed Alapin in Fianchetto in the open is just like a lot. So anyway, that's it for the cowboy. Um, hope you guys enjoyed this video. A lot of cool variations here. I'll see you guys later. Peace.